gonna be a very quiet stream.
Welcome to the asylum, captor.
How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing well. It's gonna be very quiet today. Your average normal time of 9 p.m. That is an average normal time. It's 5:45 a.m. here. How's the rain sound? Is it too loud? Is it not loud enough? Rain is good, rain. Hello, captors. I'm going to be so real with you. I couldn't sleep because I was having a panic attack. So I figured what better way to distract myself than streaming at nearly 6 in the morning. after not streaming for like, I don't know, it's been a couple weeks, I feel like, with a couple one-offs. It is my own fault. You can blame my voice. That's okay. I have an appointment on Wednesday, so hopefully we'll have some answers. Poetry is the answer. So today we're going to be reading some Edgar Allan Poe. I don't know how long the stream is going to last. It's possible I eventually get tired and am able to sleep, and that is a good thing. And it's also possible that I don't get tired and I'm not able to sleep, and that is a bad thing. But it's okay. Whatever option happens is fine. We're going to start with Alone. From childhood's hour I have not been. As others were, I have not seen. As others saw, I could not bring
asylum, captor.
my passions from a common spring. From the same source I have not taken. My sorrow I could not awaken. My heart to joy at the same tone. And all I loved alone. Then, in my childhood in the dawn of a most stormy life was drawn. From every depth of good and ill, the mystery which binds me still. From the torrent or the fountain, from the red cliff of the mountain, from the sun that round me rolled in its autumn tint of gold, from the lightning in the sky as it passed me flying by, from the thunder and the storm and the clouds that took the form, when the rest of heaven was blue, of a demon in my view. I didn't intentionally pick a stormy one, but I guess it worked out pretty well, huh? Thank you for the follow. This one is Annabel Lee by Edgar Allan Poe. This is actually one of my favorite Poe poems that exists. It was many and many a year ago, in a kingdom by the sea, that a maiden there lived whom you may know by the name of Annabel Lee. And this maiden she lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me. I was a child and she was a child in this kingdom by the sea. But we loved with a love that was more than a love, I and my Annabel Lee, with a love that the winged seraphs of heaven coveted her and me. And this was the reason that long ago, in this kingdom by the sea, a wind blew out of a cloud, chilling my beautiful Annabel Lee, so that her high-born kinsman came and bore her away from me, to shut her up in a sepulchre in this kingdom by the sea. The angels not half so happy in heaven went envying her and me. Yes, that was the reason, as all men know, in this kingdom by the sea, that the wind came out of the cloud by night, chilling and killing my Annabel Lee. But our love, it was stronger by far than the love of those who were older than we, of many far wiser than we, and neither the angels in heaven above, or the demons down under the sea, can ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabel Lee. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabel Lee, and the stars never rise but I feel the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And so all the night tide I lie down by the side of my darling, my life and my bride, in her sepulchre there by the sea, in her tomb by the sounding sea. So that's what sounding is. I was wondering. This brings me back to middle school language arts. I'm love Cami Lineages. Oh, thank you. I couldn't sleep and I was having a panic attack, so we're reading poetry. The Conqueror Worm. Lo, 'tis a gala night, with a lonesome latter years, an angel throng bewinged bedight, in veils and drowned in tears, sit in a theatre to see a play of hopes and fears, while the orchestra breathes fitfully the music of the spheres. Mimes in the form of God on high mutter and mumble low, and hither and thither fly. Mere puppets they who come and go, at bidding of vast formless things, that shift the scenery to and fro, flapping from out their condor wings, invisible woe. That motley drama, oh, be sure it shall not be forgot, with its phantom chased forevermore by a crowd that sees it not, though a circle that ever returneth in the self-same spot, and much of madness and more of sin, and horror the soul of the plot. But see, amid the mimic rout a crawling shape intrude, a blood-red thing that writhes from out that scenic solitude. It writhes with mortal pangs, the mimes become its food, and seraphs sob at vermin fangs, and human gore imbued. Out, out are the lights, out all, and over each quivering form, the curtain of funeral pall comes down with the rush of a storm, while the angels all pallid and wan, uprising, upveiling, affirm that the play is the tragedy, man, and its hero, the conqueror worm. This poem really makes me realize, thank you, that I don't know how to pronounce words. Late night study has just become a lot more bearable by listening. Oh, yay, thank you. Also, sup, baby? Oh my gosh, hi, Dandy. A Dream by Edgar Allan Poe. In visions of the dark night, I have dreamed of joy departed, but a waking dream of life and light hath left me broken-hearted. But what is not a dream by day to him whose eyes are cast on things around him with a ray turned back upon the past? That holy dream, while all the world were chiding, hath cheered me as a lovely beam, a lonely spirit guiding. What though that light through storm and night so trembled from afar? What could there be more purely bright in truth's day star? Hello, how are you? Sometimes words are hard. Dreamland. By a route obscure and lonely, haunted by ill angels only, where an eidolon named Night on a black throne reigns upright. I have reached these lands but newly, from an ultimate dim thule, from a wide, weird climate that lieth sublime out of space, out of time. Bottomless vales and boundless floods, and chasms and caves and titan woods, with forms that no man can discover, for the tears that drip all over. Mountains toppling evermore into seas without a shore, seas that restlessly aspire, surging unto skies of fire. Lakes that endlessly outspread their lone waters lone and dread, their still waters still and chilly, with the snows of the lolling lily. By the lakes that thus outspread, the lone waters lone and dread, their sad waters sad and chilly, with the snows of the lolling lily. By the mountains near the river, murmuring lowly, murmuring ever. By the grey woods, by the swamp, where the toads and the newt encamp. By the dismal tarns and pools, where dwell the ghouls. By each spot of the most unholy, in each nook most melancholy. There the traveller meets aghast, cheated memories of the past, shrouded forms that start and sigh as they pass the wanderer by. White-robed forms of friends long given in agony to the earth and heaven, for the heart whose woes are legion. It's a peaceful, soothing region. For the spirit that walks in shadow, it's an El Dorado. But the traveller traveling through it may not dare openly view it. Never its mysteries are exposed to the weak human eye unclosed. So wills its king who hath forbid the uplifting of the fringed lid, and thus the sad soul that here passes beholds it but through darkened glasses, by a route obscure and lonely, haunted by ill angels only, where an eidolon named Night on a black throne reigns uptight or upright. I have wandered home but newly from this ultimate dim thule. Thank you. I don't know how to read. A dream within a dream. Take this kiss upon the brow, and in parting you from years from now, thus much let me avow. You are not wrong, but who deem that my days have been a dream, yet if hope has flown away in a night or in a day, in a vision or in none, is it therefore the less gone? All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. I stand amid the roar on a surf-tormented shore, and I hold within my hand grains of the golden sand. How few, yet how they creep through my fingers to the deep, while I weep, while I weep. O God, can I not grasp them with a tighter clasp? O God, can I not save one from the pitiless wave? Is all that we see or seem but a dream within a dream? Eldorado. Gaily bedight, a gallant knight, in sunshine and in shadow, had journeyed long singing a song in search of Eldorado. But he grew old, this knight so bold, and o'er his heart a shadow fell as he found no spot of ground that looked like Eldorado. And as his strength failed him at length, he met a pilgrim's shadow. Shadow, said he, where can it be, this land of Eldorado? Over the mountains of the moon, down the valley of the shadow. Ride, boldly ride, the shade replied, if you seek for Eldorado. Fairyland. Dim vales and shadowy floods and cloudy-looking woods, whose forms we can't discover for the tears that drip all over. Huge moons there wax and wane again, 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 every moment of the night, forever changing places, and they put out the starlight with a breath from their pale faces. About 12 by the moon dial, one more filmy than the rest. The kind which, upon trial, they have found to be the best, comes down, still down and down, with its center on the crown of a mountain's eminence, while its wide circumference an easy drapery falls over hamlets, over halls, wherever they may be, over the strange woods, over the sea, over spirits on the wing, over ever drowsy thing, and buries them up quite in a labyrinth of light. And then how deep, oh deep, is the passion of their sleep. In the morning they arise, and their moony covering is soaring in the skies, with the tempests as they toss, like almost anything, or a yellow albatross. They use that moon no more, in the same end as before. Vitalism, a word I do not know, a tent, which I think extravagant. It's however, into a shade dissever, of which those butterflies of earth who seek the skies, and so come down again, never contented things, have brought a specimen upon their quivering wings. We learn more and more every day that I truly do not know how to speak. Alone. From childhood. Can we use English words? Can we speak words? From childhood's hour I have not been, as others were I have not seen, as others saw I could not bring, my passions from a common spring. From the same source I have not taken, my sorrow I could not awaken. We did this one already, it's okay. My heart to joy out the same tone, and I loved alone. Then, in my childhood, in the dawn of a most stormy life was drawn, from every depth of good and ill, the mystery which binds me still, from the torrent or the fountain, from the red cliff of the mountain, from the sun that round me rolled in its autumn tint of gold, from the lightning in the sky as it passed me flying by, from the thunder and the storm, and the cloud that took the form, when the rest of heaven was blue, of a demon in my view. When you accidentally read the same story twice, it feels bad. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. For Annie. Thank heaven, the crisis, the danger is past, and the lingering illness is over at last, and the fever called living is conquered at last. Sadly, I know I am shorn of my strength, and no muscle I move as I lie at full length, but no matter, I feel I am better at length. And I rest so composedly now in my bed that any beholder might fancy me dead, might
Welcome to
start
the
at beholding me
asylum,
thinking me
Captain.
dead. The moaning and groaning, the sighing and sobbing are quieted now with that horrible throbbing at heart, all that horrible, horrible throbbing. The sickness, the nausea, the pitiless pain have ceased with the fever that maddened my brain, with the fever called living that burned in my brain. And oh, of the tortures that tortured the worst has abated the terrible torture of thirst. For the naphthaline river of passion accursed, I have drank of a water that quenches all thirst, of a water that flows with a lullaby sound from a spring but a few feet underground, from a cavern not very far down underground. And ah, let it never be foolishly said that my room is it gloomy and narrow my bed, for man never slept in a different bed, and to sleep you must slumber in just such a bed. My tantalized spirit here blandly reposes, forgetting or never regretting its roses, its old agitations of myrtles and roses. And now, while so quietly lying, it fancies a holier odor about it of pansies, a rosemary odor, commingled with pansies, with rue and the beautiful Puritan pansies. And so it lies happily, bathing in many a dream of the truth and the beauty of Annie, drowned in a bath of the tresses of Annie. She tenderly kissed me, she fondly caressed, and then I fell gently to sleep on her breast, deeply to sleep from the heaven of her breast. When the light was extinguished, she covered me warm, and she prayed to the angels to keep me from harm, to the queen of the angels to shield me from harm. And I lie so composedly now in my bed, knowing her love that you fancy me dead, and I rest so contentedly now in my bed with her love at my breast that you fancy me dead, that you shudder to look at me thinking me
Welcome
dead.
to the asylum.
But my heart is brighter than all of the many stars in the sky, for it sparkles with Annie. It glows with the light of the love of my Annie, with the thought of the light of the eyes of my Lanny. Hello. I actually haven't read as much Poe as I would have liked. A lot of these I'm reading for the first time, so if I stumble over how it's supposed to be read, or like the tempo it's supposed to be read at, that's why. That's why. The Haunted Palace. In the greenest of our valleys, by good angels tenanted, once a fair and stately palace, radiant palace, reared its head. In the monarch's thought domain it stood there. Never seraph spread a pinion over fabric half so fair. Banners yellow, glorious, golden, on its roof did flow and flow. All this was in the olden, long time ago. And every gentle air that dallied in that sweet day, along the ramparts plumed in pallid a winged odor went away. Wanderers in that happy valley through two luminous windows saw spirits moving musically to a lute's well-tuned law, round about a throne where sitting Porphyrogene, in a state his glory well befitting, this ruler of the realm was seen. And all with pearl and ruby glowing was the fair palace door, through which came flowing, 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 and sparkling evermore a troop of echoes whose sweet duty was but to sing, in voices of surpassing beauty, the wit and wisdom of their king. But evil things in robes of sorrow assailed the monarch's high estate. Ah, let us mourn, for never morrow shall dawn upon him desolate. And round about his home the glory that blushed and boomed is but a dim remembered story of the old time entombed. And travelers now within that valley through the red litten windows see vast forms that move fantastically to a discordant melody, while like a ghastly rapid river through the pale door,
Welcome to the asylum,
a hideous throng
Captain.
rushed out forever, and laugh, but smile no more. Ara ara. Words are complicated anyways, what matters is the spirit. Thank you. Also, thank you for the follow.
Oh, new friends? For me?
Blueberry,
You
thank you
shouldn't
for
have.
the raid. Welcome. We're reading some Edgar Allan Poe. I hope you had a good time with what was your event? I hope you had a
Welcome
good
to the
time.
asylum,
I heard this hunt arrives. Hell yeah. Let's fucking go. I love that. Well, welcome on in. I'm gonna click the wrong thing 18 times. I'm very good at this thing that we call streaming. I really love buying books, but I wish I were passionate about reading them. I feel the same way. I really love books. I love the idea of reading, but I get very distracted sitting down and reading. We're celebrating 6 months of streaming. Congratulations on 6 months. That's amazing. Well, welcome on in. I'm Camisole Corzette. I'm Sock Agency's captive hag. Former magical girl. I'm 39 years old. I will be 40 this year. In God, like 3 months. Israfel. In heaven a spirit doth dwell, whose heartstrings are a lute. None sings so wildly well as the angel Israfel. And the giddy stars, so legends tell, ceasing their hymns attend the spell of his voice all mute. Tottering above in her highest noon, the enamored moon blushes with love, while to listen the red levin, with the rapid Pleiads even, which were 7, pauses in heaven. And they say, the starry choir and the other listening things, that Israfeli's fire is owning to that lyre, by which he sits and sings, the trembling living wire of those unusual strings. But the skies that angels trod, where deep thoughts are a duty, where love's grown-up God, where the houri glances are, imbued with all the beauty which we worship in a star. Therefore thou art not wrong, Israfeli, who despisest an unimpassioned song. To thee the laurels belong, best barred because the wisest merrily live and long. The ecstasies above with thy burning measures suit, thy grief, thy joy, thy hate, thy love, with thy fervor of thy lute, while may the stars be mute. Yes, heaven is thine, but this is a world of sweets and sours. Our flowers are merely flowers, and the shadow of thy perfect bliss is the sunshine of ours. If I could dwell where Israfel hath dwelt, and where he were I, he might not sing so wildly well a mortal melody, while a bolder note than this might swell from my lyre within the sky. 40 rhymes with beauty? I mean, it can. It's trying its best. It's doing its best. This one,
Welcome to the
actually, thank you for the
asylum,
follow. This one might be familiar to some. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this, and nothing more. Ah, distinctly I remember it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This is it, and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping, tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more." Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortals ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word. This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, "Lenore," merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning, soon again I heard a tapping somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely that this is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more." Open here I flung the shutter, when with many a flirt and flutter in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least Obeisance? Made he not a minute stepped or stayed he, but within main our lord or lady perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou, I said, art no shore, no craven, ghastly grim and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Much I marveled this ungainly fowl to hear the discourse so plainly, though it answers little meaning through relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door. Bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such a name as nevermore. But the raven sitting lonely on the placid bust spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing farther than he uttered, not a feather than he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me as my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said, nevermore. Startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken, doubtless, said I, what it utters is only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master whom unmercifully disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his song sung one board and bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore, of never, nevermore. But the raven still beguiling all my fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of the bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking nevermore. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned in my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated o'er, but whose velvet violet lining with the lamplight gloated o'er she shall press on nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath lent thee, by the angels he hath sent thee, respite, and nent thee from the memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind nepenthe, forget this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempter set or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there balm of Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aidenn it shall clasp a sainted maiden whom the angels named Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden who the angels named Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked upstarting, get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken, quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor, and my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore. The poem is beautiful. Sadly, Miss Smith, the first thing that always crosses my mind of reading is a Simpsons episode. I've actually, believe it or not, and here's a fun fact, I have never seen a single episode of The Simpsons. Ever in my life. Romance. Romance who loves to nod and sing with drowsy head and folded wing, among the green leaves as they shake far down within some shadowy lake. To me, a painted paroquet hath been a most familiar bird, taught me my alphabet to say, to lisp my very earliest word while in the wild wood I did lie, a child with a most knowing eye. Of late eternal condor years so shake the very heaven on high with tumult as they thunder by. I have no time for idle cares through gazing on the unquiet sky, and when an hour with calmer wings is down upon my spirit flings that little time with lyre and rhyme to while away forbidden things, my heart would feel to be a crime unless it trembled with the strings. Yeah, I've never seen The Simpsons, which I know sounds maybe fucked. The Sleeper. At midnight in the month of June, I stand beneath the mystic moon. An opiate vapor, dewy, dim, exhales from out her golden rim, and softly dripping drop by drop upon the quiet mountain top, steals drowsily and musically until the universal valley. The rosemary nods upon the grave, the lily lolls upon the wave. Wrapping the fog about its breast, the rune moulders into rest. Looking like Leith see the lake, a conscious slumber seems to take, and would not for the world awake. All beauty sleeps, and lo, where lies Irene with her destinies. A lady bright, can it be right, this window open to the night? The wanton airs from the treetop laughing through the lattice drop. The bodiless airs a wizard rout flit through the chamber in and out, and wave the curtain canopy so fitfully, so fearfully, above the closed and fringed lid, neath where thy slumbering soul lies hid, that o'er the floor and down the wall, like ghosts and shadows rise and fall. O lady dear, hast thou no fear? Why and what art thou dreaming here? Sure thou art come our false seas of wonder to these garden trees. Strange is thy parlor, strange thy dress, strange above all, strange thy length of tress, and all this solemn stillness. The lady sleeps, oh may her sleep which is enduring be so deep. Heaven have her in its secret keep. This chamber changed for one more holy, this bed for one more melancholy. I pray to God that she may lie forever with one unopened eye, while the pale sheeted ghosts go by. My love, she sleeps, oh may her sleep as it lasting be so deep. Soft may the worms about her creep, fair in the forest dim and old. For her may some tall vault unfold, some vault that oft hung flung its black and winged panels fluttering back, triumphant o'er the crested pals of her grand family funerals. Some sepulchre remote alone, against whose portals she hath thrown in childhood may an idle stone, some tomb from whose sounding door she never shall force an echo more, thrilling to think, poor child of sin, it was in dead who groaned within. It's good for a while, then bad for years, then okay again, so you're not missing a ton. Thank you, Boo Berry. That's really sweet. Sonnet to Science. Science, true daughter of old time thou art, who outrest all things with thy peering eyes. Why preyest thou upon thy poet's heart, vulture whose wings are dual realities? How should he love thee, or how deem thee wise, who wouldst not leave him in his wandering, to seek for treasure in the jeweled skies, albeit soared with an undaunted wing? Hast thou not dragged Diana from her car, and driven the Hamadryad from the wood, to seek a shelter in some happier star? Hast thou not torn the Naiad from her flood, the elfin from the green grasp, and from me, the summer dream beneath the tamarind tree? Thank you. Spirits of the Dead. 1. Thy soul shall find itself alone, mid dark thoughts of the grim tombstone, not one of all the crowd to pry into thine hour of secrecy. 2. Be silent in that solitude, which is not loneliness, for then the
Welcome
spirits
to
of
the
the dead who
asylum,
stood
Captain.
in life before thee are again, in death around thee, and their will shall overshadow thee. Be still. 3. The night, though clear, shall frown, and the stars shall look, not drown, from their high thrones in the heaven, with lights like hope to mortals given. But their red orbs without beam to thy weariness shall seem as a burning and a fever, which would cling to thee forever. 4. Now are thoughts thou shalt not banish, now are visions near to vanish. From thy spirit shall they pass, no more, like dewdrop from the grass. 5. The breeze, the breath of God is still, and the mist upon the hill, shadowy, shadowy, yet unbroken, is a symbol and a token. How it hangs upon the trees, a mystery of mysteries. Hello, hello. To Helen. Helen, thy beauty is to me like those Nicene barks of yore, that gently o'er a perfumed sea the weary way-worn wanderer bore to his own native shore. On desperate seas long wont to roam, thy hyacinth hair, thy classic face, thy naiad airs have brought me home to the glory that was Greece and the grandeur that was Rome. Low in yon brilliant window niche, niche, how statue-like I see thee stand, the agate lamp within thy hand, ah Psyche from the regions which are Holy Land. I've seen it both ways, and I never know which one to go with. Niche is my immediate thought, but that sure did rhyme with witch. To my mother. Because I feel that, in the heavens above, the angels whispering to one another, can find amongst their burning terms of love none so devotional as that of mother. Therefore by that dear name I long have called you, you who are more than mother unto me, and filled my heart of hearts where death installed you, and setting my Virginia's spirit free. My mother, my own mother, who died early, was but the mother of myself, but you are the mother of the one I loved so dearly, and thus are dearer than the mother I knew. By that infinity with which my wife was dearer to my soul than its soul life. To one in paradise, thou wast that all to me, love, for which my soul did pine, a green isle in the sea, love, a fountain in a shrine, all wreathed with fairy fruits and flowers, and all the flowers were mine. Ah, dream too bright to last, ah, starry hope that didn't arise but to be overcast, a voice from our futuristic cries, on, but o'er the past, dim gulf my spirit hovering lies, mute, motionless, aghast. For alas, alas, with me the light of life is o'er. No more, no more, no more, such language holds the solemn sea to the sands upon the shore, shall bloom the thunder-blasted tree or the stricken eagle soar. And all my days are trances, and all my nightly dreams are where thy grey eye glances, and where thy footstep gleams, in what ethereal dances by what eternal screams. Gonna go get cleaned up for the morning? Have a good morning. There's not many left, so I'm actually going to be ending soon. And I do still have that issue where if I talk for an hour, I lose my voice. So it's kind of perfect timing. 2. Ulalima Ballad. The skies, they were ashen and sober. The leaves, they were crisped and sere. The leaves, they were withering and sere. It was night in the lonesome October of my most immemorial year. It was hard by the dim lake of Auber and the misty mid-regions of Weir. It was down by the dank tarn of Arbor and the gull-haunted woodland of Weir. Here once through an alley titanic of cypress I roamed with my soul, of cypress with Psyche my soul. These were days where my heart was volcanic in the scoric rivers that roll, and the lavas that restlessly roll, their sulphurous currents down Yannick in the ultimate climbs of the pole, that groan as they roll down Mount Yannick in the realms of the boreal pole. Our talks had been serious and sober, but our thoughts they were palsied and sere. Our memories were treacherous and sere, for we knew not the month was October, and we marked not the night of the year, on nights of all nights of the year. We noted not the dim lake of Auber, though once we had journeyed down here. We remembered not the dank tarn of Arbor, nor the gull-haunted woodland of Weir. And now, as the night was senescent, and star-dials pointed to morn, as the star-dials hinted of morn, at the end of our path a liquescent and nebulous lustre was born, out of which a miraculous crescent arose with a duplicate horn. Astartes bediamond crescent, distinct with its duplicate horn. And I said, she is warmer than Diane. She rolls through an ether of sighs. She revels in regions of sighs. She's not seen that tears are not dry on these cheeks where the worm never dies, and has come past the stars of the lion to point us to the path of the skies, to the Lithian path of the skies. Come up in despite of the lion to shine with us with her bright eyes. Come up through the lair of the lion with love in her luminous eyes. But Psyche, uplifting her finger, said sadly, the star I mistrust, her pallor I strangely mistrust. Oh, hasten, oh, let us not linger, oh, fly, let us fly, for we must. In terror she spoke, letting sink her wings until they trailed in the dust. In agony sobbed, letting sink her plumes till they trailed in the dust, till they sorrowfully trailed in the dust. I replied, this is nothing but dreaming. Let us on by this tremulous light. Let us bathe in this crystalline light. This syllabic splendor is gleaming with hope in this beauty tonight. See, it flickers up in the sky to the night, as we safely must trust to its gleaming. And be sure it will lead us all right. We safely must trust to a gleaming that cannot but guide us aright, since it flickers up to heaven through the night. Thus I pacified Psyche and kissed her and tempted her out of her gloom, and conquered her scruples and gloom. As we passed to the end of the vista, but were stopped by the door of a tomb, by the door of a legend tomb. And I said, what is written, sweet sister, on this door of the legend tomb? She replied, Ulalume, Ulalume, 'tis the vault of thy lost Ulalume. Then my heart it grew ashen and sober, as the leaves that were crisped and sere. As the leaves that were withering and sere, and I cried, it surely was October, on this very night of last year, that I journeyed down here, that I brought a dead burden down here. On this night of all nights of the year, oh, what demon has tempted me here? Will I know now this dim lake of Auber, this misty region of Weir? Will I know now this dank town of Auber, and the gull-haunted woodlands of Weir? Said we then, the two then, all it can be, have that been woodlandish goals, the pitiful, the merciful goals, to bar up our way and to ban it from the secret that lies in these wolds, from the thing that lies hidden in these wolds, had drawn up the spectre of a planet from the limbo of lunary souls, the sinfully scintillant planet from the hell of the planetary souls. Niño, niño, niño. As a fellow not yet 40, it's good to meet you as well. Yeah, so much of Poe's poetry is about loss. It's wild. I'm doing one more. I know, again, I'm so sorry that it's like this wildly short stream, but I am already feeling my voice going. The Valley of Unrest. Once it smiled a silent dell where the people did not dwell. They had gone unto the wars, trusting to the mild-eye stars, nightly from their azure towers to keep watch above the flowers, in the midst of which all day the red sunlight lazily lay. Now each visitor shall confess the sad valley's restlessness. Nothing there is motionless, nothing save the airs that brood over the magic solitude. Ah, by no wind are stirred those trees that palpitate like the chilled seas around the misty hellbrides. Ah, by no wind the clouds are driven. They wrestle through the unquiet heaven, uneasily from morn till even over the violet that is lie, in myriads types of the human eye, over the lilies that wave and weep upon a naveless grave. They wave from out their fragrant tops, external dews come down in drops. They weep from off their delicate stems, perennial tears descend in gems. Thank you. Yeah. It helped me as well. I have one more, but it's not actually Poe. It's one of my favorite poems. It's my second favorite poem. We'll end on my second favorite poem, which is by Lewis Carroll. Also, thank you. Thank you for the follows, and I appreciate it a lot. And the subscriptions, I really do appreciate it. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mumsrat outgrabe. Beware the jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the jub-jub bird, and shun the frumious bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand. Long time the maximum foam he sought. So rested he by the tum-tum tree, and stood a while in thought. And as in uffish thought he stood, the Jabberwock with eyes of flame came whiffling through the tulgey wood and burbled as it came. 1, 2, and through the vorpal blade went snicker snack. He left it dead, and with its head he went galumphing back. And hath thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. O frabjous day, calloo callay, he chortled in his joy. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toes did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mumsrat outgrabe. It was 50 minutes long. Nothing more, nothing less. Thank you. Sorry it's so short. I hopefully will have more answers Wednesday about what's going on with my voice. And then I can figure that out. And then we can have longer streams again, because I know that I miss doing longer streams. And I know other people miss longer streams too. But until then, I might try to do every now and then just a little like hour here or there of poetry reading or something. So they won't be planned. They'll just kind of happen. But I'll post about them on Twitter when they do, and I'll ping the Discords when they do as well. But thank you for being here. I don't really have anyone on to raid right now, so I'm not going to raid. Plus, I also kind of want to keep the very quiet, gentle, like, chill atmosphere we've got going and not raid into, you know, excitement, which is good. Excitement is good, and people are great, and people's excitement are good. But personally, I know that I would prefer just a chill, like, a chill end. So this is going to be a very rare occasion where I do not raid out. It's not because I don't want to support other people. It's just because I want to kind of maintain this like very chill vibe we've got going on. But have a good night. Thank you so much for being here. I hope to be streaming again soon. Again, I have my appointment on Wednesday, and I'll probably be on vocal rest for a few days after that. You can already hear that my voice is going. It's so stupid. Oh, thank you. Usually I'm a little louder in playing games and saying pretty heinous shit, but not tonight. But yeah, you can already hear that my voice is starting to go, and it was only about 50 minutes, so hopefully there will be some answers soon. Thank you for being here. Have a lovely night or day wherever it is where you